Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Women Inspiration mini series with me. My name is Lakshmi Rajaram. And today, if you looked at this gorgeous background and wondered who my guest is, you may be thinking, is she a registered nurse? Well, if you thought so, you wouldn't be entirely wrong. Yes, she is a healthcare worker, but then she went on to become an entrepreneur and a business owner in our Twin Cities. I have the pleasure of inviting Leena Khurana to today's program. And the title of this program is An Attitude of Gratitude. So I have a lot to talk with Leena and have her share her story. So please join me in welcoming Leena Khurana to this program. Hello, Leena. Welcome to the program. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you, Lakshmi. I want to thank you for creating this wonderful forum to meet such wonderful, inspiring women. You are doing a fantastic job. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. So, Leena, I was telling the audiences in the introduction that looking at this beautiful background, whether they were guessing who the guest for today is going to be. And it's, of course, the beautiful artwork of a registered nurse. And I said, yes, if that is what they guessed, then they wouldn't be entirely wrong, because you definitely have a degree in nursing and you were a healthcare worker for quite a few years before you changed into becoming an entrepreneur and a business owner in the Twin Cities. So can you share with us briefly about how that switch happened between these two career paths?
Yes, sure. I am a registered nurse from Toronto, Canada. I've done all my studying there. I have a biochemistry background as well. So the healthcare was really my inspiration and something I enjoyed. Had an opportunity to learn more, diversify my energy, possibly work with some wonderful individuals. Had an opportunity to learn more, like I said, and got into the restaurant world, making a small difference there, and learning from the community, learning from those that I work with. So it's been a very learning experience. It's all that I seem to be repeating here.
Wow, that's wonderful. And I wanted to share, like, my first interaction with you when I came to know about you was I was doing the show for the Chance Foundation last December, and we had a large crew and cast of almost 90 to 100 volunteers and participants, and we were having these long drawn rehearsals. And during a break during the rehearsal, somebody made an announcement that, oh, the sandwiches from which are here, and generously you sponsored sandwiches, for delicious sandwiches for all of us, nearly 100 people. So that was like the first time the thought occurred to me is, who is this Leena Khurana, and how generous of her to sponsor sandwiches for our meals. And I was told that you do a lot of community service. So before we get into what was happening in the last 2 months, share a little bit about your involvement with the community prior to the lockdown.
I did not know you were at that Chance event, but I'm happy you enjoyed the sandwiches. I thank a couple of folks that reached out to me so I could provide a small support to the Chance show that day. Basically, I love being able to get involved in our community, support our community in any small way that we possibly can. And right now, my window is the sandwiches, and I really enjoy that. So I've worked with, as a cultural chair for the Hindu Mandir. I've been in the Chinmaya teaching world as well. And I just truly, truly love our community events and our community people that are doing such great things. It makes me happy
Wow.
to do that.
Wonderful. We are all the more enriched by people like you who are contributing in so many different ways in the community. So Leena, the title of this program is called Attitude of Gratitude. So during the last 2 to 3 months, 2.5 months, a lot of people in the community have stepped up in incredible ways to offer their help, their support, their services in monetary help or in kind, or whatever skill or strength or passion they have been offering this. And in your case, there's a huge success story here called Gratitude Meals. So would you be able to explain for our audiences what is that program, and what is the success that this program had during this lockdown period?
I'm more than happy, more than excited to share that journey with you. So it began in probably this, near the end of March is when we got started. But just to step back a little bit, in the earlier part of March, a friend of mine reached out and said, "We're needing to send a couple of meals to a nursing home. Would you be interested?" And I jumped in. That was the first kind of where we started off. Revti, our favorite doctor to party here, had been doing something or had just started something with a few of her, the COVID unit in Methodist. She was
Mm-hmm.
giving nurses some meals. She was helping them provide meals. So we connected, we connected there, and she said, "Well, let's start this program." We didn't know how far it would go. It's gone quite far. How that worked was that we would have our sponsors. We actually began with what she calls a whiteboard in her dining room, and then we ended up as a big spreadsheet kind of a excuse me, kind of a system behind the scenes. So what we happened was we would get in our wonderful community, our wonderful sponsors. Somebody would reach out to them from our behind the scenes heroes that
Mm-hmm.
were working. They would reach out, and they would reach out to me, or they would reach out in the group. They would say maybe they wanted to sponsor lunch for that day or dinner for that day for our heroes, for our frontline heroes. And we would get in touch with them. We would get the meals set up to their to their preferences, put them in nice boxes, put in a nice note from our restaurant, and the meals would go. And they would get delivered to many a units, many a hospital units, many a healthcare worker.
So this is such a beautiful program. I have a couple questions for you on that. One, tell us a little bit about, like, give us some statistics on just numbers. I know you started, you said at the end of March, and you've been running this program for nearly 2 months. So give us a sense of how many people were the beneficiaries of this program.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I will tell you this. So from March 30th, and we continued, excuse me, we did continue on till about the middle of May. We have
Okay.
a good large 2,700 meals being sent to, I want to say, most, if not all, our Twin Cities hospitals. We were able to cover, hospitals, COVID testing sites, some nursing homes. Like I said, we started off with our COVID and ICU nurses, but you know what? There were so many heroes, so many unsung people working behind the scenes, making it possible. So we've been able to reach, transport the cleaning crew, who we call environment services. They're not called the cleaning crew. The lab technicians, the therapists. I can't even tell you. We have so many testimonials from all of them, just thanking us that they were so happy that somebody thought of them. It's not really that meal, but I think we brightened their day. So we did that towards
I've
the.
often heard you say that you help spread that cheer by just even thinking about them, right? And it brings me to this beautiful artwork. I know you know the story behind this artwork, but for the benefit of the audience, I want to say that in early April, we had conducted a fundraiser art contest here in the Twin Cities, an online art contest. And this beautiful pencil sketch, this is a very fine color pencil sketch made by a 16-year-old Anushka Mishra. She was the first prize winner for this artwork in her category, in her age category. And not only did she win, but she was so generous to donate this piece of art as part of a silent auction, which was helping raise funds for PPE, for personal protective equipment. And none other than our favorite doctor, Revati, outbid me, I should add, because she had this beautiful, massive, generous match from her organization. So rightfully, the artwork went there, and I'm sure she has an idea of where this artwork should be. But the reason why it struck me so much is, if people take a look at this, look at the expression, look at the emotion, look at the depth in what our nursing staff, what our healthcare providers go through during this pandemic, all of that can be seen in this piece of artwork done by a 16-year-old. So coming back to what you were saying is that more than the meal, I think they were very appreciative of the thought that somebody took a few minutes out of their day to recognize them, to think about them, and to send them a hearty meal, because they were just running back-to-back shifts, correct?
Correct, correct. Yeah, that that artwork behind you became our page, our became our picture for our beautiful group. We just looked at it day in day out, and I could not get enough of that. So it is to honor our heroes. It is to honor those frontline people. They've been putting their life. I guess they've been putting out their life in danger for us. We were also able to reach food shelves and volunteers at a couple other places as well,
Yeah.
shelters as well. So we were really honored by that.
That's just wonderful. The extent to which you
Yeah.
were able to spread this in the community and do this. One thing I did want to chat with you about, Leena, is I heard that a lot of people were also celebrating key milestones in their lives or in the lives of the loved ones. So can you share a little bit about how they were able to use that and connect with you and which in order to sponsor meals?
Yeah, that was my favorite part of this actually. For me personally, it began. I'll just step back a little bit. We as Indians, believe food is a connection. It's a good way to reach someone. So my mother-in-law had passed away end of March 30th actually. So we wanted to do something, and we said, okay, what's a good way to start? We started off with doing some vegetables and things like that. Then, of course, we did sponsor some meals to honor her. She may not be here, but there were a lot of nurses 24 hours a day watching her in India. So it felt good. It felt nice to be able to honor some healthcare workers. And I'm so excited, so happy that we had multiple folks share birthdays, anniversaries, their parents' death anniversaries with us. One special person keeps popping up in my mind. Her father had passed away in India, so she did a 14-day nonstop. We made it, sponsorship of meals to our nurses, to our healthcare workers, and to our heroes. So it's been so satisfying to be able to provide that outlet, that channel for them to connect and to stay
How
connected. Yeah,
wonderful. Just what a lovely way to honor somebody's memory. And a nurse is a nurse is a nurse. Doesn't matter where or what. They are in the business of saving lives. So, just to recognize the effort and what they go through to take care of people is just incredible. And I believe this idea, Leena, of celebrating and honoring, whether it's memories or whether it's milestones, is such a great idea that it can be replicated, it can be continued. This is something that we can
absolutely.
definitely have audiences who are listening engage with you in, because it doesn't matter whether we will get over this pandemic at some point in time, but this idea can continue. It's such a beautiful idea and such a lovely way to honor somebody, and to share that. So that's excellent. Leena, to wrap up here, I just want to ask you, what was your learning from this whole experience?
For me, I just want to go back. I want to step back just a little bit. It was Revti's idea that we took it forward. We made a big impact, I think, yet a small one, so much more to be done. We were working like a fine-tuned, I want to say, fine-tuned, orchestra there. We had some fabulous people, Biswaji, Navneet, and Shalendra, and of course, Revti. We started this. Arvind, I cannot forget him. They all brought in, they put in a lot of energy to this. Could not have happened without them. We just channeled it. We were the vehicle that did it. For me, it's always impressive for me to see wonderful things that happen in our community, beginning with you, beginning with the work you're doing, or the wonderful PPE efforts that our Fit and Fab is doing. Cannot thank all of you enough. So it's that, my favorite phrase is that circle of love. And that's just how I see it. It's our circle of love that we continue to spread. Today, more so than anything else, I think that love is needed. And all of us just feel the warmth from it somehow or another.
That's so beautifully said, Leena. I couldn't have said it better. Every one of you inspires me every day. That is what motivated me to come up with this series. Is watching all the beautiful work being done in our community. It just warms my heart too. So thank you so much for taking time out, talking to us, telling us your story, because it's important for people to hear and learn about all the great work that's happening in our community, and you're definitely part of that. So I thank you again, Leena, for joining me today.
Thank you. And just the last not but least, Revati did have a presence at the Dave Ryan show as well on this yesterday. So I don't know if you all heard it. Please take a brief listen. She got on. She got a little bit of time to talk about this as well. So
Oh,
thank
please send me the link, Leena, and I'll add the link down below in this video as well, so people might be able to check it out as well. Thank you so much.
thank you again, Lakshmi. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.